jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Shout out to the hottest shot in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know. The first in the building. Big blunts and boxing on deck. What it do? What's good? Mike, I see you, man, on deck. Salute to you. Jay, what's good? See you in the building. MD Mills is on deck. I see you in the building, man. What it do? What's good? What's good? Jamal Nazy is on deck in the building. What it do, Nazy? Salute to you, man. You know what I'm saying? So before we get on, one of the stars in boxing, go by the name Jaron Ennis. This is just another live to brief and keep people's memory, fresh, because people tend to forget what they want to forget. You know what I'm saying? So with this whole delusional freaking wave that's going on in the YTC, people are trying to say that, well, what we was talking about earlier about, Crawford never getting a fight with Canelo because he don't deserve it. Let's start pushing Errol Spence Jr. 54 and Ennis at 47. So we're going to talk about that. All right. But first I want to speak on two individuals that seem not to be good listeners. You know what I'm saying? ETB and Dookie. Okay? If you know, you know. They was over there talking about, doing a live right now today, talking about trying to prove and validate some type of paperwork on people saying that was Bill Haney, if he was a snitch or wasn't a snitch. Just the mere fact of them talking about it, in my opinion, is just partially snitching anyway. Why would you bring it up? But anyway, they said he didn't, because of the way things looked out, whatever. That's not my point for talking about this. But I heard Dookie, who at one point in time I was supporting the brother. You know what I'm saying? But then it came a point where a team that I supported, Williams 150, a team I supported, we just, ran into a situation and had a fallout, right? Who would be the most easiest, softest, you know what I'm saying, dummy to freaking latch on to if you trying to get some type of, you know, a platform on here that's willing to talk about somebody. They went over there to his channel. All right, cool. So therefore, he started to go on. They was making their rounds going on people's panels. And everyone that was on the panel, like everyone that allowed them to be on the panel, I was saying to myself, you know, they ain't shit. Because they know why they there, but they was willing and able to accept the drama that was going on. You know what I'm saying? And this is not about the Williams. This is strictly about, you know what I'm saying, ETB and MBrwn. So let me start off with ETB. ETB, he wants to talk about real and what's this and what's that. I tried to tell the nigga several times about the same people that he mad with and don't fuck with now. I try to tell the nigga that. He's not a good listener, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't explain shit to people. And they think you just doing it because you feel some type of way about it. I try to explain the nigga, he ended up finding out the hard way, right? But this is what I want to talk about, ETB. You came over there, you doing some freaking funny style type shit. That's an old school term, you know, funny style, not being real. But your niggas on there always talking about keeping it real. You know your guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about me talking about that. I don't want to hear shit about that. Because if Errol Spence would have won, y'all niggas would have been over there saying WCS didn't pay his debts, right? But you vouch for the nigga. Because I say, oh, they don't be paying their debts on here. You vouch for the nigga, ETB. You vouch for the nigga. And we betted 1,000 on your freaking channel. And when I put the comment in there, and I was basically calling out that person that was in your chat, you deleted my comment. Hoe ass shit. Hoe ass shit, bro. That's hoe ass shit. You vouched. That's a whole stack. And you sitting up there knowing that we bet. And the fight finally happened. And he loses. And the same guy who was talking about, oh, I don't have no problem paying my bets. You know, ask ETB. Yeah, he pay all his debts. We done bet before we pay his. Well, why you aren't pushing for my debt? If you want some real nigga shit. Yeah, you probably wonder why I'm bringing it up. Because I can. Because when I went over there several times already, you ignored it. I remember one time I was in the background. You just kept me in the background. Yeah, for sure. So don't talk about no real nigga shit. Y'all ain't on no real nigga shit. Back to MBrwn. Let me help y'all understand something about this nigga, right? He was over there too, participating in this conversation about them explaining to people about the Bill Haney. Supposed they was proving that he wasn't, because, you know, come to find out, they were saying that he didn't say anything he wasn't supposed to and so forth back in the day, right? And they was trying to clear the air. I ain't heard no shit like that recent. I don't know why you even talking about it. The mere fact that you talking about it snitching. But he said, man, you know how MBrwn, man, you know, we ain't over here talking person and nothing like that. We ain't over here talking person. We just spitting out the facts. We just, you know, I don't really imitate him like that. But he was over there saying his name personal. This ain't personal. This ain't personal. You know, we just sitting up here spitting the facts. It ain't personal. Well, what is personal, nigga? It's the fact that when you was going to a parade and you was having some people on that you supposedly fuck with it, you know, that you said you was didn't really fuck with, you got personal. You went out there saying that I was a deadbeat dad. And then whenever I comment or respond, you said that I was acting soft. You put out 2 videos, soft as you want to be, trying to say that WCS is a faggot. That's what you said. You called me a faggot. I was like, I can see how you can get pissed off at the way I was going. Because, you know what I'm saying, when that fire and you feel the temperature and you can't run, I understand where you was going with it. You felt that heat and you couldn't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't go anywhere, bro. You couldn't get up and goddamn run out the motherfucking door. You have to wait for assistance. You said that I was a deadbeat dad, bro. Like, I got family to be tuned into this shit. You said I was a deadbeat dad. You took it there. You tried to go through the extreme when this wasn't even about you. This was strictly about the individuals, and you call yourself being mad at Roy Jones. The only person that never really had no connection or never even communicated with Roy Jones was you, out of the trio, you. Williams them did. I did. The first time I went down there was because of them. You know what I'm saying? So the whole history of me supporting the team, that means you was never around. You come on here trying to lie and tell people you did this, that, and the other. It ain't personal. Keep it real. But you go out there telling people I was a deadbeat dad. That was personal to me. And then you turn around and make some videos dealing with emasculation. Typical black people shit. Nobody believe you, though. Nobody believe you. You up here talking about Roy Jones, and I'm going down there because Roy Jones, you trying to say he's freaking fruity. Man, come on, bro. Roy Jones, first of all, he wouldn't even touch you. You know what I'm saying? He'll probably invite you down and give you the gate code, say, come on. You know, you don't have to drive the car, just roll up here. Everything good, and then them dogs come out the tree line. You know what I'm saying? Them dogs come out the tree line. Then you looking, hey, somebody, it's too late. It's too late. You know what I'm saying? You have the audacity to talk about keeping it real. It ain't personal and all that to these people when y'all over there talking, but you busy want to talk about kids? You want to talk about kids. How did this get to the fam, though? How did you come out and start talking about the fam? How would you say I'm a deadbeat dad? Just because Williams want to talk about my son every time he get mad? See, he know I got my son. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about your family and say shit that ain't true, that's them trying to hurt you. They trying to find a way to hurt you. And you go out here and try to create a lie and talking about I was a deadbeat dad. I could have went many different ways, but I kept it light. All I'm saying is you're going to go over there and run your motherfucking mouth. At least talk some shit that you stand on, nigga. That you stand on. Don't just go out there running your mouth. Because I don't know where this family shit came in. If the whole process of them complaining about me, it was between me and them. You brought family into it just because you was the easy one. You know what I'm saying? Your door is always ajar. You easy work. You know what I'm saying? You opportunist. You chose to go and let them in and talk shit about me because you was the one that was always jealous of Roy Jones about what he said with Errol Spence. And then your dumb ass don't have nothing to say once Errol Spence go in there and get smashed. I'm going to leave you like that, both of you niggas. ETB, you showing that real don't exist. You know what I'm saying? You vouching for a nigga, but it only goes to show you that a ain't shit nigga that vouch for a nigga that's just, you know, just as lower class than he is. You know what I'm saying? They all in the same boat. If you make a bet, you're supposed to keep that shit. Especially for a nigga that's saying he got all the money, he got this and that. You vouch for the nigga, and he didn't pay up. You on some fuckboy time over there. You don't vouch for a nigga and then don't hold him to a standard. And then, you know what? With Dookie, I don't have to say too much more about you because every day, every night, you already know what it is. Every day and every night. I don't even have to complete the sentence. Let's get back to boxing content. Jaron Ennis, man. I got the paperwork on Ennis since they was talking about paperwork. I received the paperwork back on Ennis freaking application that he submitted. And I've been trying to, educate people a little bit on the boxing FICO. Because a lot of people, don't see it like that. But it is a such thing as a boxing FICO if you look at it. Everyone has a certain grade of importance per their resume. Everything about their resume. They have a certain grade of performance value that has to do with their boxing FICO. It deals with them being a star. It deals with everything, all the criteria with building themselves up to be popular, a popular star. Once you get to the star status, then you start working on being a what? A prize fighter. That has to do with the boxing fight code. Now, I received the paperwork. Jaron Ennis' request to fight Terrence Crawford was denied. You know what I'm saying? They declined. They say he had an insufficient boxing fight code. Now, this is nothing personal. I am trying to help the people that continue to overlook what they did to Crawford when he was trying to fight Spence, and they was coming up trying to act like they was boxing scholars. They was coming up with all this info as to why Crawford couldn't get this done, and he wasn't qualified to fight Spence, even though he had multiple divisions already. It was bad. We're not going to just skip over that. We're not going to just let that float away. No, we're not going to throw that away in the dumpster. We're not going to throw it in the fire and let it burn. No, we got to continue to remind the boxing community. Because look, they get mad at me, but now you have boxers out here shitting on the sport. The very sport that they compete in as professionals. They are upset at the sport. So you mad that I'm talking about one specific fight? You mad at how I articulate my shit, how I talk my shit? You should be mad at something more important that you can control. You can't control this. I've said plenty of times before, boxing has a certain format that boxers build themselves up, build up their paperwork, build up their jacket, build up their portfolio, right? Build up their BOW, body of work. That's what boxers do. Some boxers do it differently. If the people or the circle or the team that you with are building you up, it's a perfect example in Ennis's case that every building doesn't have the same contractors. That is absolutely undeniable correct. Every boxer does not have the same contractors, which will be their team. Every boxer isn't looked upon so early in their career, say, oh man, hey, so-and-so special. Oh man, they special. Look at that. Oh man, so-and-so special. They're going to be something special. Some boxers, you get to see it early and it leaves no question. Other boxers, they're late bloomers. You have to continue to teach. And then when they finally get to that level, they start to shine, show out. When we talk about boxing fight code, it absolutely deals with the opponents that you have registered on your boxing ledger and what you have been able to accomplish over that period of time. I'm putting it out there once again for those of you that seem to think just because Errol Spence is not on a flyer to face Crawford and Crawford versus Spence too, we're just going to stop talking about the way you treated one of the greats just because you favorite Errol Spence. We're not going to forget it. See, I don't have to sit up here and make shit up about Spence. See, what the Crawford supporters understand is that as one of my colleagues was talking to me the day about, is that, you know, we see a trending behavior about the Spence fans. They lose their sanity, so to speak, impulsively. They get emotional. They start to have nervous breakdowns. They're full of anxiety, y'all. It's almost like, you know, back in the day when they used to have that liquor in the flask, and before they get out that motherfucker, they used to take that hit of that liquor and put that flask in the glove compartment, and they feel good. It's almost like y'all do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sipping on some anxiety. Y'all don't want to face what happened. I try to tell you, WCS was trying to tell you that you can't change July 29th. That was supposed to be the biggest, one of the most important. And Terrence made it look like a YMCA sparring match. So what y'all do? You all abandon Errol Spence, just like the PBC did. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have no backup plan for him. Y'all just abandon him. And then y'all tried to slowly but surely transition your fake supporting asses over here to face to support Spence. I mean support Ennis. Y'all slowly but surely wanted to bring that fakeness over here to Ennis. And I reached out. I said, Ennis, don't fall for the shit. They're going to do you the same way they did Spence there. Ennis, don't do it. Don't fall for it, bro. All they doing is just up here trying to, get a hold of a young fighter in the game that they can try to pull off the same bullshit that they was doing with Spence. Everything they say is cool until the actual event proves otherwise. And y'all know what I'm talking about. No matter what the names that was said on his resume that was supposed to be important. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, Mills mentioned talking about the Prescotts, the Gamboas, the Ricky Burns, the Diazes, the Lormays, Postals, all these names. You know what I'm saying? All these names, and Dongos. Yeah, all these names. Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez. Yeah, all these names, right? These dudes have undefeated records. They're in the ranking systems. They're qualified to be considered legitimate contenders, right? And here you have a fighter that doesn't look like the Hulk, but he fight like him. You know what I'm saying? For real. This may be the only black David Banner I ever seen in my life, right? Crawford looks like everything is cool before time. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time he was fighting. Now you can take two moments. You can take him with the freaking locks that he had, and then you can take him when he came in here for the Spence fights, looking like he was living in the mountains for the whole fight camp. He came here looking like Joe Frazier. The man came in there and went through his career like he was David Banner, going through the press conference as Hank Lundy, coming there at the press conference. The type of guy that showed up to the freaking workout with Jose Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Dude done had some run-ins. I mean, that's just the way he do. And then when he get in the ring, he the Incredible Hulk. But he don't give you that impression outside the ring. But see, you have to continue to remind the Spence fans on how personal they made the lead up. They made this shit extremely personal. Everything was personal about it. You can't sit up here and wipe this shit clean like it's pure innocence. You had good intentions, but the delivery was incorrect. No, your intentions was malicious and your delivery was malicious. You always up here saying all this shit. And niggas, when you got some weak niggas that want to respond to you, right? That's how WCS is up here whining. Now, I think you mad because you actually paid attention to what the fuck I was saying. Y'all niggas is up here just saying some off the wall shit. Y'all didn't want to give validation to none of the big names he fought on his resume. Y'all didn't want to do shit, man. I never, real talk. It was some times, right, in my sobriety, I was sitting back, right, and I would say, damn, WCS, how would you think about this if you was actually smoking one? Like, how could you listen to this shit? Maybe, I would accept it a little bit more and digress from putting y'all and cooking you in the hot grease if I was smoking one. If I just had a little bit of habit and I knew what I was doing, roll up one and just smoke it real nice and get my head right and just think and listen to the shit y'all was talking about. I wonder how my response would be because y'all was getting real personal. You know what I'm saying? Diddy James took it so far to say that the mama wouldn't even need her dancing shoes. She can leave them at home. I mean, the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is professional sport. This man don't have no draws on his record, no majority decisions, no split decisions. He did what he had to do. But it's going to come a time, man. It may not happen in the next 2 to 3 years. But you heterosexuals out there, it's going to come a time and a place that you're going to have to understand that you're going to have a a one-on-one with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do a self-cleansing and say, I fucked up. As boxing fans, I fucked up and underestimated his potential threat heading into this July 29th fight. I fucked up. It was almost like a chorus. All these niggas were saying the same shit. Who is he fault? Who is he fault? He ain't fault nobody. Who is he fault? Well, Ennis, I have a question for you. Because you say you was looking for 2018. During that time, you didn't think, well, doing that, it's 2018. He about to go in here and fight Jeff Horn. Let me try to step up my game and fight some, top tier opposition. Why not do that shit? You know what I'm saying? So I can be a bit more qualified when it comes time for me to meet the one and only Bud Crawford. But you didn't do that. You just said, yeah, I was looking for you back then. And the good thing about it, Crawford didn't turn into the Hulk right then. That's the good thing. He say, cut it. He's sleepy. That's David Banner, just giving you the telltale signs before the eyes start to turn green. He just said, cut it, man. He started laughing like that. And his skin started to turn different. The black started to turn to green a little bit. And his shit started to split open. That was the preamble to that shit. When you say some dumb shit out your mouth, I've been looking for you since 2018. Looking to do what? Nothing. I just was looking for you. I heard your name and you was on a roll and I wasn't looking to do anything. Don't get so hot. Don't get turned up, man. It's okay. I mean, to hear that shit happen, and then furthermore, the people who gave you a call to begin with, I have to ask you this, Ennis, do you ever think, now that you have these people that's trying to push this fight with you and Crawford, to hear Crawford call you a theater fighter, you know what I'm saying? To hear people say that there's no money, to hear Rick Glaser, who's been in the game for the longest, right? To say the fight with Crawford, fighting Spence or Ennis, probably most definitely won't happen because it's really no one that want to put money behind it. At that point in time, do you think it'll be a good decision for you to just understand that your resume doesn't qualify you to step in the ring at this point in time? I know Canelo gave Abner Yildirim a promissory note. He came off a loss and he was able to get in there with Canelo. This is not the case. I'm saying, when will you, when presented with the question, because you had ample amount of opportunities. Street like Teofimo Lopez. Just put it on Front Street over and over again. Why didn't you? Why didn't you stay put in the WBO? Why didn't you? Why did you leave and attend the IBF? Because everybody over there thought the same way. Who has he fought? But all along, you wasn't asking yourself, who have you fought? That's what people want to know. Who have you fought? Your boxing FICO continues to drop the more people talk about it. The reason being that they don't know who you fight next. And then through further investigation, when the application was submitted, they did a thorough, I'm talking about they was checking with every boxing credit bureau out there. And a lot of them had that one, you know what I'm saying? They had that one negative notation on there on how the IBF went about submitting that letter and stripping them of the belt and giving it to you. The mere fact that you was looking for this man in 2018, just to now in 2023, steal from him. I mean, were you looking to see if he had something that you wanted back then? I don't know, but they felt that was adverse. And that's why your credit score has dropped continuously. Your FICO has continued to drop because where you at right now with the numbers, you're 31-0. Interim IBF champion. World IBF champion. Asterisk. You cannot expect the respect the way you receive that, man. And then it just seems like it's no outlet for you to basically redeem yourself. It seems like it's no freaking outlet. You're going to let these people continue to push you into Crawford. You can't do that, brother. I'm trying to tell you, man. All fights aren't good fights. I'm just telling you point blank. All fights ain't good fights, big dog. People will respect you more if you would have stayed in the WBO. But you went over to the IBF and they sent the bogus letter which removed your enforcement, Ennis. It removed it. They would have forced, you know how the IBF did the same shit back when Crawford was at 140 when he won. They wanted him to fight freaking Sergey Lipinets. Then you come up here and you go through all these freaking names on the welterweight division to get to the unified champion. He beats him real bad. And the man is not even the IBF champion a full 90 days yet. And y'all submit a letter without even forcing the IBF? Like, you already know the man was tied down in a contract. You couldn't wait to see if they was going to do what they was going to do. Think about that. It's January, and the word is that Crawford's not going to be facing Spence. So you couldn't wait a little bit longer for that news to come out that they weren't going to be fighting each other. And then the IBF, it would have been a clear road for you to say, yeah, I want that fight. Because you already was the IBF interim champion. So all you had to do was wait a little bit. And then the IBF could have submitted that. What was the rush? Listen to me, Ennis. What was the rush, brother? Because you got the title and we not hearing anything. The only thing I heard is when they dropped that letter off at my door and say special delivery. I said, what? I went and opened it up and they sent your freaking application to, well, no, I requested, I paid a little bit of money. And I said, can you please send me that application? You know what I'm saying? That he submitted. I just want to see what it said. And to my surprise, they declined. They declined it, brother. You have had the IBF championship. And you know what, Ennis? I'm probably the one that has talked about your name the most. No one is talking about your name. It ain't like you a bad dude, brother. You just happen to be in a predicament where these fake boxing fans want to put a battery in your back and they want to think that's going to be enough energy to get you into a fight with Crawford. But your resume doesn't qualify you to fight him. If Crawford goes in there, sign the contract there, Ennis, and you and him fight, and Crawford wins and become 3-time undisputed, he may not get the type of glory that he got when he beat Spence. Because Spence was supposed to be the man. You know, he was on the pound for pound list. He had the higher FICO as a freaking welterweight divisional resident. He had everything people was looking at, Ennis. He had everything that you don't have, right? And he was beat down the way he was. But now if Crawford goes in there and defeats you and become 3-time undisputed, he himself may look at that and say, man, this is not even the way I wanted to earn this record. Because now, you know, people are going to praise the shit out of me for the first 2 undisputeds. But then when this 3-time undisputed, they're going to look at the record at that time and people are going to be like, no, hold up. No, man. Is this for real? At that time, this was the record. What? Oh, hell no. Hell. He fighting out of where again? Oh man. This can't be how it's supposed to play out, bro. Who was telling you that this is the way the story's supposed to play out? Like I said before, man, I think you're gonna be like a 4 division champion out this all over with. You're already a welterweight world champion. But the way you receive the belt, you know it's gonna warrant criticism, Ennis. You don't qualify to face a freaking legend like Crawford, man. You don't qualify, nothing on your resume. And the reason why I'm telling you that over and over again, because that's the same thing they told Crawford. He actually had the credentials. You don't. The arguments are different. It's all about what you are arguing about. What is the debate? When it came to Spence and Crawford, that was debate. People wanted to denigrate the opponents that he had. And the way, and one point they said, well, Errol Spence can beat everybody on Crawford's resume. But since Errol Spence had the likes of a Kell Brook or somebody, or Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, or Danny Garcia, they was like, well, when it comes to them, there's nobody on Terrence Crawford's resume at the welterweight division that basically mirrors up. Danny Garcia didn't want to fight no parts of Crawford at 47. And then we never had the opportunity for Sean Porter to step into the ring. You know what I'm saying? And Kell Brook came back because the talk was out that Crawford needs to fight a common opponent. So he did that with 2 of them. He did it in a more devastating fashion. And those same fans that's trying to put a battery pack in you there, Ennis, they was the ones saying, oh, well, the excuse that we got is because they was already washed up. I'm going to be honest with you. They was already washed up. We can't give them no credit. So this is what I liked about it, right? These cats were so driven not to give Crawford credit for any achievements that he was able to make look easy, right? Something that compares him to Spence, because they was both on the pound for pound list. And Spence was never ahead of Crawford on the pound for pound list. But when it comes to the comparison, when it comes to putting in the metric and people using their own perception and perspectives on this shit, right? They look at it however they want to look at it. Even when he beat him, they still didn't give him credit. So the beautiful part about the deception of him going in there and fighting Spence, they always felt that he wasn't supposed to be there like you, Ennis. They felt that nobody on his resume has prepared him to face this heavy hitter, man down, the big fish, strap season, Errol Spence Jr. The biggest deception in a long ass time on how stupid the boxing fans can be. How much of a casual, they say they ain't casuals, but really if you look at how they was talking and how they was basically jettisoning any type of talent or technical skill set or levels that would consider Crawford to be on the same platform as Spence, they didn't think he was there. Even though they was looking at legitimate criteria on his resume, they said, no, he ain't there yet. He ain't there yet. No, he ain't there yet. Spence will fuck up everybody on his resume. Man, fuck that. He ain't fought nobody. So if you're saying that his opponents on his resume are subpar, mediocre, right? In that case, all that experience mean for him to step into the ring with Errol Spence, he's always been undeveloped. It was no way for him to work himself up and become a technically skilled elite fighter because his competition wasn't nowhere close to Errol Spence. So therefore, their mindset was, we ain't worrying about it because he never fought anybody on his resume. Everybody on his resume, Spence can beat. So he's pretty much fucked up fighter. He's undeveloped. There's declivity in his skill set. And there's no time for him to build that up because there's not that many names in the division that Spence haven't fought, that Crawford can fight, and they'll be in the same level of peak for when Errol Spence fought him. That was the beauty of that deception. When it all came down to us finally getting a fight, I remember at the first presser how people was up there having sidebar conversations about how big Spence was. And I'm sitting there just listening, and I'm saying to myself, do they understand that this is going to be fought at 147 pounds? Just because Spence looked like he's 185, 190. Do these cats truly understand there has to be a scale that's basically going to be a part of this whole equation? They have to balance the scales with the proper weight to step in the ring. Why are you sitting up here gloating on how big Spence looked? It makes no sense, man. What the fuck are y'all doing? Oh, man, he looks big. Man, Crawford looks so small compared to Spence. You got one cat that's living a lifestyle, maintaining a certain range of weight, and you have another dude in Spence who chose to live out of pocket, eat what he eat, attend all the smothered crab buffet, feast on Thursday all the way to Sunday. He just had a lack of discipline, man. Ennis, you don't give us that vibe. You know what I'm saying? You do pick up weight in between fights. We can see that. But you don't give us the vibes like you're not in the gym working and everything. They said that Ennis does everything Crawford does, but better. Listen to me, y'all. They say Ennis has everything Crawford has and does it better. That's the hymn note. Ennis can do everything Crawford does, but better. And my reply to that, if that is indeed true, if there's any bit of honesty to it, why don't your resume reflect some type of quality of opposition so that too can be mirrored up to Crawford? So more people will have a reason to put forth all the energy for you all to fight. They're not doing it. They're not looking at it and say, yeah, we want this fight to happen because no, these fools are taking the coward way out, and they're basically saying, oh, we just want anybody right now to fight Crawford that we think can beat him. Right now, the other champion that's in the division is Jaron Ennis. We got it. The person that you believe that's younger and that can do everything better than Crawford is you, Jaron Ennis. But you know what I do respect about you, Ennis? This is as genuine as I can get. You know what I do respect about you? Is how you carry yourself in the sport. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to basically or whatever. It's not too much I can talk about. Like, you carry yourself the way you carry yourself out, outside of boxing and everything. And they say you're always in the gym. But there's another layer to caveat to that too, Ennis. You want to know what it is, man? Another reason I respect you is because truly deep down inside, Ennis, you know you're not ready for Crawford. That's straight up facts. You know deep down inside you're not ready for him. People around you can build that shit up however they want. If they want to build up the foundation off wet toothpicks, they can do that. You know what I'm saying? If they want to build it up off bird feathers, they can build it up. If they don't want to find some Jenga blocks and build that shit up with a little bit of super glue, cool. If you want to find some old plastic containers and build it up that way with some staples, cool. But Ennis, you know very well that you're not ready for him, man. You know it. Your peoples know it. And all you want is an opportunity to step in the ring and find out the hard way. Don't be mad at WCS, man. I respect you for understanding and knowing that you're not ready for that fight. I respect you for that. Because when proposed the question, you said Barrios and Stantiones. That's all I knew. You validated what I figured out. You never really said that, hey, let me consistently call Crawford's name out over and over again and let him know I'm serious. No, you'll be over here. You say, well, whenever you get a title, it's over. I'm going to step on them. That sounds good. When somebody want to throw it on the freaking flyer and put your face on it. When your own media guy that's embedded in the gym over there asks you the most legitimate official question he can ask to get right down to it. What is your ideal? That's the most legitimate question you can be asked, and it's to tie you closer to Crawford. And you said Barrios and Stantiones. We don't have nothing else to talk about. We don't have nothing else to talk about, Ennis. Real talk. We don't have nothing to talk about. Because how can you be a fighter that's trying to prove to everybody that you want to fight the man right now, pound for pound best out here, and you say Barrios and Stantiones? Ennis, he's in your backyard, man. No, he ain't all across the other side of the street no more. This dude has goddamn packed up. Diddy moved, put everything on the trailer, left Top Rank, went into the headquarters, Dolo, with his team, and tried to make a fight happen. And had to reset, go get it done in freaking Omaha and come back. He ain't on the other side of the street, as y'all call it. He right in your backyard right now. He's right there, brother. And when you know he was there, you said Barrios and Stantiones. So it's nothing that your people, it's nothing that these freaking Spence fans / Ennis fans are going to be able to debate about. You said Barrios and Stantiones. And from what I hear, Barrios may indeed be your next opponent. But I told you those two reasons I respect you. Outside the ring, you know what I'm saying? Model citizen, boxer, you know what I'm saying? Basically living by the fighter's lifestyle. Nothing has really made it to the news yet about you out here doing anything. It's nothing to say you smoke or drink. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? People, give you adulations for, you know what I'm saying, being a clean fighter, being a switch hitter, you know what I'm saying, having the frame, you know what I'm saying, keeping yourself in shape, having a bigger frame than welterweight, and proposing a bit more of a threat to your opponents outside of the name Crawford. But when it comes to the second half of it, brother, that's what I see. That's what I respect about you too. I respect you to the point where the second half of it is that you are totally understanding that you're not ready for him. Because your energy would be a lot different if you felt that being in the division and now you done scooped up one of his belts, it would be a full court press, Ennis, for you to let the fans know that that's the person that you want to fight. It wouldn't be no other questions. Barrios and Stantiones, when it came up in your thought, fuck all that. You said that you want Crawford. Crawford. Don't sit up here and take away your enforcement of the sanctioning body, then turn around and say, hello, buddy. Hey, bud, can you pick up the phone? Hey, hello? Anybody there? Hello? Don't try to make no phone calls now. Don't try to make no phone calls now. What's the point? It had to be a better way to do this. It wasn't some people that you can communicate with. to see, what's in the contract. How long did Spence have? Since he was up there wasting people's time, how long did he have not to face Bud Crawford outside of his activation of the 30 days after the fight? How long did he have to make the fight? There's no way no one could have told you that. It's no one that could have told you that. And then for you to say, okay, I want to plan this. I want to strategize. I want to make sure I'm next in line. Because the IBF, one thing we know, they enforce their mandatories. Just ask Teofimo Lopez. He chose Cambozo. Ask Sergey Deryanchenko. Ask Gennady Golovkin. The list goes on and on. IBF enforces it. Ask Jermell Charlo. He hurry up and goddamn threw that shit away. So you would have had the enforcement there, but you removed the enforcement just to say you was a world champion, and then you want to go in pursuit. That's backwards. You was already in the perfect position for them to do all the work for you to get you to fight Crawford. You would have been his mandatory, but you chose, no, I don't want, no. Let's do it underhandedly. Let's do it insidiously. Let's go up here and send a dead-end letter to try to get this man, to do something that legally he couldn't do because he was already bonded to Errol Spence in a contract with the same people that you're a part of. I know you say you weren't signed to Showtime, but you have some attachment to PBC over there. Indeed. So now you're in pursuit when the fighter that you're pursuing is looking to the heavens. They're trying to fight in the Pantheon now. The man said he had 1 or 2 fights, Ennis. That's it. You're not the one or the two, the uno nor the dos. You're not the uno or the dos. He's looking for 2 fights. He said, I might as well just give them 1 since they don't appreciate greatness. And that 1 is Saul Canelo Alvarez. Why wouldn't he face him? Come on, Ennis. You got your fans out here trying to compare why Crawford should face you compared to pursuing a Canelo Alvarez fight. It comes a time and a place Crawford and his team will know if the Canelo fight is reachable or not. If it's not reachable, they're not going to stay out the ring for over a year without finding some type of way to communicate, hey, we're reaching out to Team Crawford, to Canelo, talk about, hey, champ, what's going on? Do you think this is a fight that can happen? What you looking like? What's your schedule looking like? What we looking like? You know what I'm saying? We heard Jermell Charlo was already signed up before his knucklehead little, brother, got the fight. Are y'all still gonna make that fight? Okay, you are? Okay, cool. We just wanted to touch bases because we want that fight. It'll be a big fight. We'll make a huge amount of money. And we definitely don't have to worry about people funding it. It will get funded because you have 2 superstars. And also we know Canelo, he get paid whoever he fight. And in this case, Crawford's definitely going to get paid. I'm pretty sure they will have the conversations to see if it's even reachable. But y'all know damn well that Crawford's not going to fight y'all right now. Y'all might as well let that go. Not only that, it's not even a fight. And you have to look at it this way. In order for them to determine a fighter's greatness, to even determine if they're great or not, they're Ennis, they have to go on your resume and be able to select names that they believe that was equal or greater than you in skills, talent, just overall as a fighter. I don't know if you have a single name that's on your resume that people believe that was equal or greater to you heading into that match. So that's why your FICO score is a 603 right now. Now, it is a way to bring that up. It's called fighting quality opponents. You know what I'm saying? If you fight Mario Barrios, are people looking at him who's been in there with the likes of Javante at a lower weight and the likes of Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Do they give him credit on his fight goal for defeating Giovanni Santiago that lost to Adrian Broner? Do you give him credit for picking up a couple of wins at welterweight? Is anybody going to say that Barrios is equal or greater than you head into that fight? No, I don't think so. So you might, just have to wait it out and see what happens if Crawford vacate these titles. And then you can go on a rampage and try to unify and become welterweight undisputed if you can still make the weight. It all depends on how slippery that pen is. If they're willing to provide you the pathway to collect the belts. That's all I can say. Right now, Crawford is still unified champion. But per the application process, Ennis, you don't qualify. Your resume doesn't qualify you to step in the ring with somebody like that. Just because y'all under the same profession of boxing, it doesn't qualify you to step in the ring with this cat. He's a different individual. He's went up there and earned his stripes, man. You may have 9 less fights than him professionally. But there's an entirely different separation when it comes to the quality. And you have to understand that. Don't be mad at me because I'm just telling you what my opinions are, what my observation is, how I gauge this shit. You know within yourself that you ain't ready for him. You know that. You know it, brother. That's why you said Barrios and Stantionis. You know you're not ready. Your people will definitely be defiant and say otherwise, but you're not ready for him, man. He gets no credit for going in there and destroying you. He gets no credit if your corner start to throw in the towel. If your corner threw in the towel, he gets no credit for that. Because the only thing they're going to go back to is your resume. The same shit WCS was saying that disqualifies you, they're going to sit up here and come up with an excuse to say, well, we blame Crawford for this. Why? Because y'all was the same person that was pushing Ennis to get in the ring with him. Why y'all blame him? Because you know damn well that see, man, he know Ennis wasn't ready, man. See, they're going to start coming up with all these goddamn, let me keep it real with you. On some real nigga shit now. Let me keep it real with y'all. Yeah, we was pushing for the young warrior because he was young and he still can recover. Just some real nigga shit. I'm keeping it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what they tone gonna be like. But 31 victories, we thought he might have a puncher's chance. Excuse me, WCS got a question. So you say you thought he might have had a puncher's chance. Why did you think that? Because Crawford, man, he was getting older. And we saw some things. Oh, you saw some things? Yeah, we saw some things in the Spence fight. For real? Were they red? Were they red in color? What things you seen? Because I seen red in the ring, and then I seen Jamel Charlo. He was dressed in all red, looking like a blood clot. You talking about that? That's what you seen? No, man, it was some errors in there that Spence could have capitalized on if he wasn't weight drained. See? Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. You want to talk about weight train. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying. There's some areas in there that if Spence wouldn't be weight drained, he would have been able to exploit some mistakes that Crawford was making. Okay. All right. So you think saying that you've seen some things, or you thought you seen some things, that's gonna better prepare Ennis to go in there and change his life. Because you asked a lot of people. They're just gonna start telling you. They're gonna remind you what we was looking at in there. You feel me? They're gonna remind you. They're gonna remind you of the individual that was the suspect. And they're gonna remind you of the victim. Now, it wasn't always that way heading into that square. Crime scenes are different, but this played out in front of millions. This played out in front of millions. It was there. Ennis, this is what you have to look at. You have to say, damn, that make me just feel a little bit different. Bring chills. You have to understand, when y'all look at film study and you start visualizing and seeing one of the greats at work, you have to ask yourself, Ennis, does my boxing cue add up? Does my boxing cue add up? Does my boxing cue add up to be able to go and be competitive against a 37-year-old Crawford? Does it add up? Does anybody in my corner have the professional experience and knowledge that is tactically required to go against Bomac? Being that we never went up against him or his staff, is there anybody that I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, that's behind me, that can coach, that can outcoach, equal or outcoach Bomac? The answer is no. Then you go back to yourself. Am I possibly able to go in there and outthink and out-strategize and set traps on a fighter like Crawford, where people saying we haven't seen everything he has to offer? The answer is no. Do you really want to see yourself like this, Ennis? If you don't want to see yourself like this, man, stop playing, bro. Stop playing. You better off catching Crawford in 10 or 15 years. He can come back for an exhibition or something. I don't see you being ready, bro, right now to step in the ring and fight this man. I don't want to wish nothing bad on you, bro. I respect, certain things that goes on in boxing and certain people that's carrying themselves accordingly. But I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's a reason why y'all wanted to go in there and fight Spence. Y'all wanted Spence to be the winner. It's a reason. Because you all felt that he was the easiest what? That was the easy route. You and Spence are two of the same. You know what I'm saying? You took the easy route. He took the easy route. You saw where the easy route got him, right, Ennis? So therefore, why would you do it, bro? You try to take the easy route, and there stands Crawford. Spence tried to take the easy route, and there stands Crawford. How are you going to get through the easy route, bro? Y'all went from the WBO to the IBF the easy route. Do you know there's consequences and repercussions? Have you called up Spence and asked him what he was thinking in this moment? You might want to do that, shawty. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing but respect. You might want to do that, Ennis. Real talk, brother. Real talk. You don't want pictures out there where the soles of your shoes is being freaking displayed for life. Truth be told, man, the people that's tuning in from afar in the comfort of their own home, they really don't supposed to see what shoes you wearing. Real talk. They don't supposed to see, unless, photographers that's ringside off the apron, they able to get this still, and your picture's up there for life, man. You have to ask yourself, are you ready for that? Are you ready for it? Yes or no? Are you ready for that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's 31-0. Deceptive. Just like Crawford's record was deceptive because they felt like he ain't fought nobody. Do you believe that your 31-0 is deceptive enough to go in there and shock the world? Because that's who you have to deal with, bro. You know what I'm saying? He has more experience. He has way more, a portfolio than you do. Do you believe that you can prove to the people that your 31-0 with mediocre to subpar competition prepares you to step in there with an Omaha Monster. That's all the public wants to know, Ennis. Real talk. I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to get into the chat right quick. But I just wanted to, basically, put that out there. I wanted to kind of see where you were. I wanted to let you know that I don't see you being ready, bro. I know this is your profession. I know I'm not the one lacing up the gloves. That's why I'm here on the mic, providing you my opinion. It's not based off facts. All I'm saying is based off observation, though. This is the data I've collected. Your FICO doesn't add up to be qualified. That's why they decline you. You don't qualify to go in there and fight for the undisputed. That is a high stakes fight, brother. That is a high stakes fight. You have to be willing to understand there's a possibility that you will suffer your first defeat. And though one is very small in its value, numeric value, it's how. It is the how behind it. How did you face that defeat? Just ask Spence. Real talk. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden on deck, man. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. How this chat in the MF game. I'm going to the top right quick. Shout out to MBrwn. Salute to you. Shout out to all the hitters in the chat. Hood Sports and Boxing. What's good? Texas in the building. And now I'm trying to set up boots for the knockout. Hey, man. All I'm doing is trying to be as eloquent as possible to inform Boots, don't fall for what Spence did. You have a lot of freaking pretenders that when everything was cool before July 29th, they was all about Spence. All about Spence. But after, when July 30 rolled around, and that date was a Sunday, I'm pretty sure around the world, the churches was packed. A lot of people had lost so much money. They had lost dignity, confidence, sanity. They had lost a lot because they underestimated the hurt business. They said Crawford didn't have no fans since we showed. That's a lie. Now we bud buddies. You can't make this up. Look. Let's talk about this. Like, bud buddies, aerosexuals. They would call you a bud buddy like the two really, you know what I'm saying? They hit the same. They don't hit the same. Aerosexuals hit different than bud buddies. You know what I'm saying? They want it to be something more. But man, come on, man. That shit don't hit the same. Samar, what's good? Samar Warren on deck, man. Peace and blessings, love. Salute WCS. Certified stamp the like button and support the grind. No doubt, brother. One love to you, mate. All those fights you just named done better than Spence. Hey, man. If you was to say that last year, July 24th, July 23rd, 19, 15, any date before the 29th, man, they would have sit up here and timed you out. They would have said, how dare you, man? You must have lost your... Man, get him out of here. Bud ain't did shit, man. All he got is TKOs at welterweight. He don't have KOs. You actually had motherfuckers saying that shit. Look. Sometimes for some people it was unbearable. Me, it was okay, man. You know, I was being a sponge. I was soaking all this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was soaking it all up to use it, you know, later on, a different day. That's all. Just use it for a different day, man. Kavaliauskas did better than Earl. Man, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Kavaliauskas did do better than Earl. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter, in my opinion, did better than Spence. He did. He did better, even though he was stopped around, the 10th round, and Spence was stopped 9th. We're talking about he suffered. You know what I'm saying? He was subjected to knockdowns in the same round. You know what I'm saying? Crawford got right to the point. You know what I'm saying? Timothy Bradley, messed around and told him he was behind unofficially. And Crawford was like, okay, we're going to take care of that. BNWO was good. And it's probably wouldn't bring much money compared to the other big boys. What big boys? Because right now, Keith Thurman, he used to be a big boy, but he ain't bringing no money. He been out the game too long. We really don't have fighters that's bringing in big money, so to speak. But we can't say that we're gonna ignore that Spence and Crawford got paid. They got paid. They got paid more than fighting for net pay in 2022. If that shit would have happened, then nobody want to fight for no net pay. Having agreed to them, I'm pretty sure both of them felt like shit at that negotiation, especially Crawford, because he's up here agreeing to everything, right? Because he said, let me just go in here. I already know I can beat this dude up. Let me go get the belts, and then I get paid more money in the rematch. Because once they witness it, then we can go back into a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? We can go back into a pay-per-view, and that's what it is. But the good thing about it, he made a smart decision, revisited in 23, got it done, and both of them were satisfied because, Spence said we get to make bank. Hey, he was happy. Andrew Charles in the building. What's good with Andrew? If Bud is smoking trees, it's not worth him to stop living for the money boots bring. I didn't want to find you, but I was just looking for you. That's all. They told me you was over here talking. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Toby, he put his hands up like you put your paws up. Hey, dog. Hey, man, I ain't know you was here, man. I, give him the head. No, all right, man. All right, cool, man. Good to see you and everything, man. I'm gonna keep it moving. I ain't mean to bump into you, mess up anything, man. Go ahead and handle it. Good to see you though, man. Hold up, why you over here? They've been saying a lot about you want that fight. What's the deal? No, man. No. Man, no. We got other plans, man. Talking with the team, What you want, you don't always get, man, But I'm open, if Spence don't do anything, I'm open. Spence, it don't seem like he gonna make the fight or whatever, so that's gonna be none and void. After that, we can make it. Nah. I wasn't really coming over here looking for you, dog. I was just walking through the club, man. I was just doing me. That's all. I was just minding my own effing business. I don't really talk about boxing outside. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, when I get around to it, my team will get in contact with you, bro. Don't worry about it. All right, cool. He didn't want none of that commitment. He didn't want none of that. Two things are going to happen for these aerosexuals. When Bud fight next, EJ is going to get hurt quicker. 2, Boots is going to look like them old sneakers in the hood that we throw over the wires. Wow. Speaking of sneakers there, Smart, I want to ask you a question. Did you see the black Air Forces? I believe they was Air Forces that Spence had on when the grand arrivals happened. Do you remember that little small detail when he came in there with the black Air Forces with the socks, the white socks on and shit? And you know what they say about the white Air Forces versus the black? What type of time the black Air Forces be on? And shit like that. That little shit he was wearing, I guess he was trying to send a message that he was on some, Black Air Force time. But really, but really, the one that was on that type of time was his opponent. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was. Carlos Rosado in the building. What's good with it, brother? How you doing, man? WCS salute. Hottest chat in the MF and game. Yes, sir. Appreciate everyone pulling up on the drop, man. Supporting, interacting with the topic. And I need y'all help too, in passing the word and let Boots Ennis know that he was declined. He was declined. You know what I'm saying? All the sanctioning bodies, which some will consider the credit bureaus of boxing, they said, no. We can't do it. The Villa stage has been the biggest fights ever been on. He won't be ready for media fight week in front of the cameras. Well, once again, I have to ask you this. What makes Villa the biggest stage? Villa's momentum was strictly off Rashidi Ellis. What momentum Rashidi had coming into the fight with Villa? He didn't really have no juice. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really have no juice. Villa got the win. But once again, we can go all down the timeline on who Rashidi Ellis fought and what he been through, vice what that did for Villa. No one know who Villa was before he stepped in there with Rashidi. Rashidi just didn't have the legs to stay away. He was boxing. Rashidi wasn't no punk. He was letting his hands go, man. He just was broken down. Battle of attrition. Battle of attrition. They was damn near on the same level, to be honest. Seriously. I mean, not so much skill wise. I'm talking about they was on the same level as far as resumes. He'll be dreaming before he even gets in there uncharted waters. Hey man, he's a big welterweight, man. He a big welterweight. He does have a lot more fundamentals on and off and defense than EJ. And they say, man, that Ennis has everything Crawford has. This is telling you something, right? He has everything Crawford has, but better. And I want to ask them, does that include boxing IQ? Because we can look at the show and tell all day long, oh man, look at that. We can look at the aesthetics. We can look at all the exterior, but that brain though, the brain, the headquarters, where the intellectual decisions have to be made in the heat of battle. Do y'all figure that? Are y'all attesting that Jaron Ennis boxing IQ is the same as Crawford? The shit that we've seen Crawford do in the ring, especially how easy he made it look in there with Spence. I mean, we're talking about Crawford being in the Korean Chudikin situation and knowing that he will have found a way to break down Korean Chudikin and stop him. Whereas Jaron Ennis, he just seemed lost in there. And then afterwards, he say, I could have performed better. No. It ain't you could have. You should have. You should have got that guy up out of there because you were supposed to. You can't have a performance like that with a mediocre opponent, a ragu, a soft tomato. Shout out to Cobain on deck, man. We're going to stuff Boots in Philly. Not good. Optimal. So real. Darren on deck. He said access denied, man. Yeah, his access was denied, man. They said we cannot approve your submission today. Your request has been declined due to insufficient boxing FICO. I'd rather see Boots, but I understand Canelo has the life-changing bag. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But see, people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, Larry. You want to see. You got YouTube to see, bro. Go back to freaking Korean Chudikin. Go back to Ramon Villa. Go back to Sergey Lipinets. Go to Custio Clayton. Go to Van Heerden. Just go to all those people, man. Thomas Delorme. You want to see? If you want to see, though. If you want to see, it's access that you can put in to see videos, to view videos. You can see it that way, brother. You can see it. No credit unless money. Bud ain't finna be hustling backwards. No such terminology. You know what I'm saying? Hustling backwards? Oh my God. That ain't the truth. Why would you get to the pinnacle that you already want to be at, right? And then you start to hustle back downward. Oh, let me go back the way it all began, dog. No, no, that's just not the way the mindset works. Everybody talks about struggle. You know what I'm saying? Their motivation comes from being able to get up out of it, right? You don't find someone that's considered to be remotely normal to say, you know what, I miss it, man. I want to go back in the struggle when I was broke. I want to go back to the hood and get me a 1-bedroom with roaches all over the place. And I want to see, can I stay in there for a year knowing I got money in the bank to get a house? I just want to stay in there so I can relive my struggle. That's not the way. That's not, no. I want to look in the fridge and have nothing to eat in there and just be starving, knowing I got money in there. I want to call Uber or DoorDash. Fuck it, man. I miss the struggle so bad. Who am I if I ain't keeping it real? I want to know what them ice cubes taste like at my age. It's been a long time, but I just can't wait. You go in there and put an application. Sir, why are you here again? I mean, obviously you make well enough and they don't give you $325 per month to stay here. Why are you here? What are you doing? I'm just trying to prove to myself I still got it. I'm coming back to where it all began. I want to relive the struggle, y'all. Just to prove me, goddamn. I want to hurry up and get to my friends, man. I want to go in there and that freaking dirty ass mattress. I'm going to get me a freaking 2 mattress, put them on the floor. Or better yet, I'm just going to get a blow up. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Boots should go ahead and fight some other guys. Forget about Crawford. No, man, when you have people around you, like, it was one point in time that I felt some type of way about, you know, because Boots a good guy, man. Real talk, you know. He is a good guy, man. I have never had a conversation with him. He's a good guy. But I feel that he picked up 2 titles where he had no one really praising the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? Really hearing the cheers that he want to hear. Like I tell people, I remember paying attention to when Tank finished his fight and Boots was in the hallway with his title and Tank walked right past him. You know, he might have said, all right, congrats, man. You know, Tank walked right past Boots. Boots was holding his title, and he was standing in the door by himself. Well, nobody around him or nothing. And then for him to get this title the way he did, ain't nobody talking about that. Nobody's talking about it. He's a legitimate world champion. You know, it was criticism when other fighters did it. You know what I'm saying? Other fighters received it via email. We criticized them too. But I think is when you get elevated, that's a little different. When they elevate you, that's a little bit different now. That's a different grade of inbox. But when you receive it the way he did, by submission of a letter, and they extracting the title from Crawford with a sense of urgency, only to sit, like the title's literally sitting. It's doing nothing. It's like it wasn't no reason to expedite the process in submitting that paperwork and getting approved. I mean, getting back a response that you wanted, and now you're gonna strip him. What was the reason to expedite that process? Because ain't nobody talking about Ennis being the IBF champion. Nobody. Hardly anybody is talking about it. All they doing is, hey, Crawford ain't gonna fight. You know, he ain't gonna get the Canelo fight. And I don't give a fuck what came out Canelo talking about Maul and then Crawford. Man, he should fight either Spence or Boots. Man, nobody's believing that shit, man. Nobody. They ain't believing that. Weight drain, overtrained Derrick James. and that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see them fucking with Bomac, Red Spike, and Esau. I don't see them fucking with them, dog. Come on, man. How many times I gotta play the clip? I don't see them fucking with him, man. The instructions that Bomac was given. Come on, man. Come on. Ennis, are you ready for those instructions, Ennis? Ennis, let me go. Let me remind you of what those instructions was. Cause man, look, they was beautiful instructions, man. We're talking about close quarters combat. A fighter that's pound for pound, still listening to his coach. Pay attention in this.
Fucking slow for you, all right? You get a chance, counter that fucking jab over the fucking top. Sometimes turn that jab into a hook, all right? You don't have nothing left. You can stay on the inside, catch and counter.
Go over the top. What Crawford do? Go over the top. Down goes Spence from a jab. Now time to turn that jab into a hook. Beautiful. Beautiful instructions. Beautiful instructions, dog. Seriously. It was just beautiful instructions, man. They say black people can't listen to one another. We can't freaking operate as a unit. Well, some's in the water over there in Omaha, because them two black right there, with the other black that's in there, Red Spike, and then the other black, you know what I'm saying? All those other blacks in there, I mean, they seem to be functioning as a unit. They seem to have an understanding how to make the shit work. Don't say that now, he'll never fight again. They had that fight, but ran out of the way. Man, you can't go over here and be in the WBO sanctioning body and then turn around and abort mission to the IBF when it comes closer to the potential year the fight's going to be made, or whoever told them that, hey, man, we're going to align you with the IBF at the top of the year. We're going to put you in there with Korean Chudikin for the interim, and that's going to set you up for when Errol Spence win the titles. Nope, Errol Spence didn't win them motherfuckers. DJ7 on deck. What's good with it? Pickett on deck. Salute. WCS South Central Los Angeles in the building. Salute to the West Coast on deck. South Central boxing fans in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Hey, you on deck. What people don't know, Spence cried after that fight. Boots not ready for that type of embarrassment. He'll be asleep. When I always try to tell people, AU, right, what you just said, they don't really pay attention to that because that's not them. You know, all them people that had all that, you know, oh, Spence. You kept on hearing that shit, right? They wasn't there to console him when he was breaking down. Because look, it took me, even me, some weeks after that to come on here and say, you know what, when it comes to Spence, he actually believed the shit he was talking about in Oklahoma. Spence actually believed on God, you ain't gonna stop me. For real. Spence mentality, he a dog. Spence was used to having that mentality. He walked through people. Go back to his old video when he was in the Olympics or whatever, and they did a little video in the hallway, and he's like, if you don't know who I am, you know, you ain't been watching boxing or whatever. I'm the truth or something like that, he said. Spence has known that, you know, his forte is to come forward. You know what I'm saying? He has something like a black Mexican fighting style. Come forward and brawl type of style. He ain't no punk. He ain't no bitch, man. Spence got courage, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude got heart. Real talk. Spence got motherfucking heart. He was just outclassed, outperformed in everything. Everything you can think about. Conditioning, skills, everything. Yeah, man, Boots, you're not ready for that, bro. You gotta be able to dip back behind the curtains and let that emotion out after that fight. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to be ready. If Bud beat Boots, it's gonna send some Arrow fans to the psychiatric hospital. You talking about to visit the ones that's already there? That's what you talking about? To visit the ones that's already there and the ones have since left but returned? Boots wasn't ready. Bud fighting amateurs. He cherry picking. That's what they're going to say. It's a lose-lose fight. I want to see it, but we already know what's going to happen. Hey, shout out to Pugilists on deck. That's all I'm trying to say. We already know what's going to happen. It's too much, man. You know, just the mere fact that Ennis mentioned Stantionis, Barrios. He ain't ready for Bud, man. He himself understands, and I respect him not coming out and just calling and freaking being a clout ranger. He didn't say Bud's name. It don't matter how many times the camera's in your face and people ask you about Bud Crawford. You keep it 100. If that's not who you want them to print and goddamn sit up here and clip and put all these damn shorts out and chop it up and all this and just basically say, oh man, Jaron Ennis rips Crawford, calls him out. Yeah, fighters are getting smart with that shit. So for Ennis, you wasn't going to get him on a freaking clip saying he want Crawford. He said Barrios and Stantionis. When it came to him to mention Crawford's name, he said, yeah, and that other guy. Man, I respect him, man. I respect Ennis, man. Seriously. But you got to get this hot grease, brother. You got to get the hot grease, man. The reason why you got to get the hot grease, it goes back a little bit. And it's when you say you was looking for the man in 2018. I have to cook you. I have to cook you. Come on, Spence. Come on. Spence, talk to your boy, Spence. Come on. Spence, tell him how it is. Spence, talk to your mans. Spence showed heart and grit. I respect him for that. Will Boots do the same? Bozy probably going to throw in the towel like Kenny. I don't know how and what their mindset is over there. I don't know. But, you know, they people say he's holding. You know that title he's holding? He might not want it in the ring, but it's a credential. That's not the credential y'all want, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you want. That's not what you want, big dog. For real. That's not what you want. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, I'm on deck, man. Salute to you, OG. What you looking like out there, man? How you feeling? Yeah, man, hustling backwards. Real talk. Eddie Hearns tried to save him from the PBC, but they can't. Jessica on deck. Salute to you, Queen. One love. AJ should have went to Bomac, not DJ. Why you think he left him? Well, you know, AJ has been with several coaches, and they felt like him going over there. I don't know. To be honest with you, I ain't gonna bullshit you, dog, on a Tuesday. I don't know why the fuck AJ went over there, but he went over there, man. And I can give a damn. Just like with Ryan Garcia going to the PBC now. Hey, I'm gonna love seeing how this play out. Really. I wanna see the improvement. Look, I gotta give Ryan his credit a little bit, even though it's a little off topic. Ryan fought a totally different fight. And as I was looking at that fight, I've said before, I said, hell no, that's not Diddy. Because Errol Spencer's been under the tutelage of Diddy. He ain't never came out and showed patience and switched up his style. Ryan fought a totally different fight against Duarte. I say that's Floyd Mayweather right there. That's for even when he was trying to emulate the Shozy Ozy Posey. I got to give him his props. He tried something new. Now all we need to see him is maintain his sanity. You know what I'm saying? And go in here and win a legitimate shot. Look, check this out. Ryan said him, okay, hold up. So Ryan had been on record as saying that Floyd moved him away from Rolly, I think, if I'm correct. Or something like that. Or Devin. He moved him away from Devin. Ryan, I believe, said something to the fact that if he beats Rolly, that's not a real championship. The hell it ain't. The hell it ain't. What the hell you talking about? Just because you're trying to establish your legitimacy, your respect, beating Rolly Romero the way he won that title in the ring, why not? You should want to go over there and beat his ass, man, and get that title and then fight for unification. Now your pride is in the way. Man, get out of here. Get out of here, Ryan Lion Garcia. You're trying to now talk about, oh, man, it's all about prestige with me. The champion I step in there with, I want them to have, you know what I'm saying? I want them to have the proper respect and I want them to have the popularity. I want them to have everything in play. Because the way they look rubs off to me going in there. It makes me look better too. I don't want them to just look like basic fighter. Was gifted that title, and he called himself the world champion. Ain't nobody's on Rolly's neck about it. I'm just trying to see how people think Boots, but what are they basing it off of? Shit different on the A level, of course. And see, that's what I'm trying to deliver. That's what I'm trying to, elaborate on. The topic that kept coming up is who has he fought? They kept proposing that question over and over so many times. And they kept looking at his opponents and basically saying that it's no way that he's fought anybody in recession. It hasn't been anybody that he fought of quality to prepare him for Errol Spence Jr. So therefore, Errol Spence don't have anything to worry about because it's nobody that's on, not one person on Crawford's resume that would have prepared him for Errol Spence, because they felt like Errol Spence had went in there against the more quality opposition, bro. He had the better resume. And you'll hear these cats going all the way back to Chris Algieri, yo. They'll go back all the way to Lamont Peterson. Look what he did. They even throw in, look, he smashed Carlos Ocampo in one round, man. Come on, man. That's the Carlos Ocampo that went the distance with Sebastian Fundora. Oh, my God, dog. I cannot make this up. Eubank Jr. made the right move. He looked spectacular with Bomac. Roy had him getting KO'd all over the place. Hey, man, that would be a fight I'd like to see. Boots in there with Conor. You know what I'm saying? With Conor Ben. I would like to see that fight. I would like to see that fight. I'm glad somebody brought that up. Shout out to Swat Jones, man. What's good with it, brother? Eubanks Jr. would be good if he would, you know what I'm saying, find the weight class he want to fight at. It would have been great for him if he was a lower weight class, but you know what I'm saying? He fought a very good fight against Liam Smith. That was a solid fight. I was happy for Roy and Eubanks. I was happy, man. Real talk. And shout out to Andrew Murphy, man, and Mandeep, two Roy Jones fighter. Shout out to them. They picked up wins in Washington State, man. They just had a fight card. Conor Ben goes 12 rounds with Boots. Interesting. We need to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? We need to see that fight. Real talk. That would be a good scrap to me. We need to see that fight. But at the end of the day, man, we still talking about a lot of stuff here and there. Like we continue to talk about this same stuff. Like I sit up here and listen to these videos, and people are still trying to get to a comfortable place. What I mean by that, they don't know who's Crawford fighting next. But like I said before, let me bring it up. There's a lot of people that so-called was saying that they knew better. They knew. Their sources was telling them. You know what I'm saying? He should fight Spence. He should fight Boots. He should fight Spence. He should fight Boots. He ain't never. What they were saying? He ain't never getting that Canelo fight. And then this comes out. You know what I'm saying? Michael Benson dropped this. See, if it comes from them cats, they look at it as much more official. You know what I'm saying? By some of the people on the YTC to just be putting out clickbait. This is him putting out Canelo Alvarez reportedly looks likely to fight Mar Charlo and then Terrence Crawford. This is a slap in the face, man. Hot grease to the face of these people that was making it seem like Crawford didn't rate the fight Canelo. Like they're using size again. We seen Crawford put on some nice muscle mass in his fight with Spence. He looked strong in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He looked strong in that fight. I mean, you're talking about, that's the first time I've ever seen an undisputed fight where a fighter is beating up his opponent and also beating up somebody else on the sideline. And both of them wearing the same color. Mel Charlo was wearing red and Spence was wearing red. I've never seen that before in my life, man. How can you not be, how can they say you're not as dangerous as you are when while the referee was giving Spence a count, he's over there beating up freaking Mel Charlo. Just violating him. Talking about, you a bitch ass nigga, you a bitch ass nigga, you a bitch. I mean, come on, violating him, dog. Violating him. Come on, man. We got to continue to understand what this is about. Seriously, we need to try to understand what this is about, y'all. Stop letting these cats go around here and think that this is a carnival and they just running around here skipping through the motherfucking park just doing dumb shit. I wonder what would happen if I ran up underneath that roller coaster when it was coming down. Just doing dumb shit. Stop letting them push, put their hand and push people's names in the conversation without giving the same debate or the same energy they was giving when they was debating Spence and Crawford. They don't want to talk about that no more. They try their best to leave that nightmare alone. You know what I'm saying? But we cannot leave it alone if we got the same scenario. We have two fighters that's in the same division. Now, you tell me, why are you not scrutinizing Jaron Ennis' resume like you did Crawford? It's right there for you to look up. Why aren't you scrutinizing? When Crawford had a belt, the one belt, the WBO, you all said he ain't did shit but stay in the WBO. You said he could have fought freaking Spence when he came into the welterweight division instead of fighting Jeff Horn. Y'all was trying to, after it was on record and Spence saying he was taking the easy route, y'all tried to say Crawford said he was taking the easy route. Y'all put Bomac up there and Bomac admitted they took the easy route. Well, how did that look 29th? Which easy route looked more effective? Hey, y'all need to find out what route that actually was and see what they did while they was on the route. Where did Team Crawford go while they was on that route? That's all I'm saying. You can't leave it. Y'all got to use the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to give the same attention that what you did to Crawford when he had one belt. And he's got an IBF title. Crawford, he won his inside the ring. You all are refusing to put the same amount of criticism, to lay the same amount of criticism on Boots than y'all did Crawford. And Crawford had way more accolades than Boots ever will. Way more, bro. It's not fair, man. It's just not fair. You're not being fair with the boxing fans. Conor being on that egg diet would have KO'd Boots. I'm not sure. I think Boots smoked him. He looked bad in his last fight, and I'm assuming he wasn't on the eggs anymore. Hey, man, he was on that cage-free eggs there. You know what I'm saying? He was on that cage-free brown eggs. He was on 100 a day type of freaking routine and diet. You know what I'm saying? Your body, his body was digesting that eggs so much to the point it turned into a freaking performance enhancing, a drug that wasn't allowed. He had a chemical unbalance for breaking down that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They say that yolk is potent. It's some people crack the egg in the glass, 2 of them, and drink it. They say that motherfucking eggs are potent. But Conor Ben was on 100 a day. They say you cut the light off while Conor was training. You cut the light off, you'll see straight through his whole body. His motherfucking ass was glowing. Like that nigga grew up at the depths of the sea and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Conor Ben used to be a mermaid or something. He got them. They found him stranded on the shore. You know what I'm saying? Took him to the laboratory, cut the fins off and found out he can box. They say, oh, he loved eggs. He's a healthy guy, man. Woo. But I always believed Conor Ben was, oh my God, stop it. Damn, dog. Hey, we're gonna leave it like that, man. At the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to both fighters. But Ennis, you know what I'm saying? I'm really talking to those who claim they your fans, but they won't criticize you about and give you any motivation to go out here and shock the world. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do it because all they are fans. Their hatred for Crawford, all they want to do is kind of pretend that they really fuck with you, but really they just want to use you to go over there and fight Crawford and see how it turns out. If it don't turn out the way they want, all they're gonna do is abandon you. That's all. Don't fall for it, man. Learn from the way they treated Spence. Learn from it. That's why Spence will go live and don't even say anything to his fans. Because they were talking about Crawford the whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, Ennis. But in closing there, Ennis, I have to leave you with this. I don't mean to put your mail up here. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, man. Just work on that. Work on that damn FICO score. And you should be good. Seriously. You should be good to go. Till next time, man, y'all hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Subscribe.